I just want to say a big thank you to everyone who has joined my channel. Thank you for the love. If you've ever shared any of my messages or liked any of my messages. And I just want to say that if you feel something, if you see something and it's encouraging to you, don't hesitate to pass it along to someone else, because they just might need a couple of words of encouragement to get them through the day. So I genuinely appreciate all of my old subscribers, all of my new subscribers. I thank you from my heart sincerely. I didn't think my channel was gonna still grow after I went offline, maybe about it's probably been like almost 9, maybe 10 months ago. So I went offline during that time. In all honesty, I was having some different hardships in my personal life. It wasn't just one thing, it was like a couple things had piled on. And I wanted to do reflection. I wanted to not only physically see myself in the mirror, but I wanted to take ownership and responsibility for all of the things that I had created in my life and learn from them and grow and also push my life to a higher level. My thing was working on my career, working on my weight, and working on my overall perspective of life. Things had, at that point in time, they were like things that came to the surface, and some things in my life was just getting to a point where I'm like, hold up. Take your power back. Take your strength and your courage back. And I think in life, the only way we can genuinely take our power back is taking accountability for the things that we have allowed to happen, the things that we have accepted, just taking ownership of your part in things that occurred in your life, and kind of having that perspective that, yeah, some things, may not be going right in your career right now, but you still have an opportunity to make a change. So when I left, my focus was getting in a better financial position, getting in a better career, and moving myself along and creating that happy place that I had before. A lot of things have changed since I've been offline. And what I wasn't expecting is my channel to necessarily grow, because I wasn't showing my face anymore. I wasn't going to be present. I was planning to take like a year off, and that just didn't happen, because I'm that kind of person that if I feel like I have 2 words that I can say to encourage the next person, that's what I'm going to do, even if it's just 2 words. So I appreciate everyone who is here right now. I appreciate the people who have gone and just passed through. I am very appreciative, because this has been a genuine learning experience for me, going through all of the things that I've been through in my life. And for me, I think, I always have to go through periods of understanding myself, understanding where I'm at, and understanding where I want to be, and reflecting. And not only just looking at myself in the mirror, but deeply looking into my soul to make sure I'm in alignment with where I'm supposed to be and what my purpose is. And your purpose you can't just, for me, I believe that your purpose isn't just used in one area. So I'm still being able to use the gifts that the Most High has given me. I've just been pushing them out in other areas. So it's a beautiful thing. One day, sooner than later, I will be coming back on camera. I will be doing my lives again. And I will be with my YouTube family, because there's so many things I want to talk about. And I want to talk about them honestly, in an unapologetic way, without fear, without limitations. And I'm just gonna keep it real. One thing about myself that I've been working on is not holding back, not limiting my words because I feel like I don't want to say certain things to offend certain people. I think it's so powerful that as we're on this journey as human beings, that we acknowledge ourselves and our power that the Most High has given to us, and we take accountability for who we are, and we learn to stand in the strength that we have. But you cannot stand fully in your strength and the power that the Most High has given you if you are not 100% true to yourself, true to your calling, true to who you're supposed to be. And in that journey of self-discovery, you will discover your truth and that power, but it is up to you to acknowledge it and to not let it go and to not let it sit on the sidelines. You have to acknowledge that truth, and you have to take accountability on this journey. Like the post I was talking about earlier, that really hit home. It really touched me when I posted that life is not about necessarily the accomplishments, but like the trials and tribulations that you are able to overcome. And sometimes what I've discovered in my life, I thought that I had overcome certain things, right? And I was so sometimes happy in my spirit that I had overcome certain things. But I realized as life goes on, I was overcoming the battles a lot of times and not the war. So in life, we must always be in preparation because it feels good to overcome that battle, but ultimately you must overcome the war. And you overcome the war with staying true to our Creator. You overcome the war with staying true to yourself. You overcome the war with keeping your integrity, keeping your values, and creating a space of peace, love, and happiness no matter where you go, no matter what you experience. A part of myself wanted to go offline because I felt like through awakening, through understanding certain things that was going on within my soul, that I was kind of, and through hurt, in all honesty, and dealing with personal issues with family members and dealing with things at work, my soul had begun to get burdened down. And I felt like a part of me was growing cold, and I was not going to reflect that to the world. I'm not going to come on. You'll never see me with a fake smile. You are never going to see me out in the world giving you a happy message and my soul is not at peace. I cannot do that. So I just wanted to take a step back so that I could regain my composure and be who I am innately called to this earth to be. And that is a lover. That is a person that's an encourager. That is a person that means well. Even though I learned that even though you mean well, you don't always do well, even though the intentions of love is always there. I've learned so much about myself on this journey in life. I'm hoping that I can say a couple of things to a couple of people and it will help them to change their life or find a better perspective. Overall, I realize that accountability for my actions, accountability for the things that I have chosen. And sometimes I realize that some of those things that I've chosen to do was because of my flesh, because of my being impatient, because of not wanting to wait, because of not really sincerely taking a long look at stuff. Sometimes I was just plain old naive. But it's just like the glaze came off my eyes. I started seeing stuff and life gets real. But no matter how real life gets, no matter what you discover, no matter the awareness or the part of the journey you're on, never give up on yourself. Never give up on who you've been called to be. Never give up. So I created this post today to essentially say thank you to everyone that's here. Because I'm like, oh, people are still watching my videos. I'm like, that's a beautiful thing. I appreciate y'all. Just make sure you share it. Anyway, I had this question. So my question is, let me plug up my charger right quick. My question is, are you looking with your eyes? The question is, do you believe what you see? Do you believe what you see? Do you believe what you see? Let me tell you, a lot of times in my life, what I saw messed me up. What I heard, depending on what feeling or what I was allowing I don't want to say manipulate, but what I was allowing to control me at that point, it really sent me in directions that I did not want to go. So I wanted to tell people to be careful of what they see. Be careful of what they hear. And be very discerning as they're going on this journey. It is your business to protect your spirit, to protect your heart, to protect your soul, to always stay prayed up and be covered in the full armor of the Most High. But a lot of us in this life, we lose our way because of our sight, because of what we perceive that we're seeing. And sometimes what we see before us is a big distraction. Or sometimes we have the wrong perception about what we see. What do you see? Do you believe what you see? I just want to know. Feel free to share your experiences if you want to in the comment section. One thing, when I created this channel, it was created for poetry back in the day. But I wanted to make this place a place of genuine love, a place of genuine respect. And I just love that we're keeping that vibe. We're not perfect people. We have our ups and downs. We have our challenges. But we genuinely do care about each other, and we genuinely do sincerely love and want the best for each other. Again, I just want to say thank you for being a part of my journey, because when I do come back, I'm going to be honest about some of the things I went through, and I'm going to just tell you from my heart without any sort of, glaze over it, or without hiding what really happened. I'm just going to be honest. One thing I want for you is to be true to yourself, to acknowledge your part in certain things that went wrong in your life, to take accountability, and to understand that there are always going to be trials and tribulations. We're going to win several battles, but you must be consistent if you desire. Because it is a desire for us to win. If you want to win the war, you are here to win the war. It feels kind of good. I'll give a perfect example. I had this dream months ago that I was climbing up this mountain. And when I had gotten a certain part in the mountain, I discovered this beautiful, beautiful place. It was this land that I had never seen before. I was in a foreign country. And it was like we were at I was by myself, but I was walking up this mountain. There was some kind of place where there was a resort on the mountain, and everybody was in white, and I knew these people. And at this mountain, I discovered like the love of my life was there. Anyway, I can't remember everything, but I just found that so indicative of life. I feel like I've always been climbing up this mountain. And sometimes we feel like we've gotten to a point where everything's comfortable, everything's good. But we have to remember that there's still continuous battles for us to win. So never let your guard down. Always keep your full armor on. Always stay praying. And always stay discerning. You have to know that there's so much more beyond what we see. I always say, and I genuinely believe, because of the spirits that I've seen in the spiritual realm, this life is more spiritual than it is physical. This life is way more spiritual than it is physical.